Oke, 3, 3, 2, and let's go.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the international webinar event for blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Novita, will host you for today's event. Now, let's me welcome our special guest for today. Welcome to the Honorable Miss Kateryna Tokarieva, as a lecturer PhD of Law, Head Department of Law from International Scientific and Technical University from Ukraine, to the Honorable Miss Olena Parshyna, as a Doctor of Science Economy, Professor Academician of Academy of Economy Science, and Professor of Cybersecurity and Information Technology Department from University Custom Finance Ukraine, to the last Mr. Migunani M.Kom, as a Head of Information System Department from STEKOM University Indonesia, and last but not least, also to the honorable guest and audience today. Before we begin, I have a few housekeeping notes here. Today's session is being live streamed on the Universitas Tekom YouTube channel. And for today event, we will start with Indonesia national anthems. In the next session, we will begin with the main event presentation by our special guest for today and continue with the Q&A session and take a picture for documentation and last time for closing. First, we will sing our national anthems for the Mr. Jonathan. You can start this session today. Thank you. Thank you very much for the conduction, and we will go to the main event for our audience. If you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat, and we'll be able to answer some of the during the Q&A session after its presenter already presentation. And today's session, its presenter will have about 30 minutes for the presentation. Now let's please welcome our first presenter, Miss Olena Parshyna from University of Custom and Finance from the Ukraine. For Miss Olena, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. 1 minute, I open my presentation.
Sure.
1 minute. Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, me.
Yes. Okay, okay. According our topic, please, I would like to say about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. So one moment. I will start these next questions. For example, for first, what is blockchain technology? Next, I would like to say about scientists who developed a blockchain. Next, we can say about distributed ledger, records blocks and cryptographic hashes. And next, I propose to you to say about how does blockchain work. And next, cryptocurrency, blockchain versus cryptocurrency and technology. Next, according to this plan, I will say about next. For example, what is blockchain technology? We can say about blockchain sometimes refers to distributed ledger technology. Sometimes we can say about DLT makes the history of any digital assets and transparent through the use of decentralized network and cryptographic hashes. Next, we can say about next example. For example, we can analyze next analogy. For example, how blockchain technology operates, and we can compare this Google document works. For example, next example. When we create a Google document and share it with a group of people, the document, for example, distributed instead of copied and transferred. For example, this creates a centralized chain that gives anyone access to this document. And next, someone, for example, can additional, for example, in this document, but for example, we can say about significant gaps to note, however, to unlike documents, Google documents, original context and data on blockchain cannot be modified once right, adding to its level of security. For example, we can compare this document doc, but this technology more complex, and we can say about only a main idea of this technology. So on the next slide, we can say about some explanation of blockchain technology. For example, first, blockchain is a digital ledger of database. Next, we can say about digital assets are distributed, not copied or transferred. Next, we can say about digital assets are decentralized, and we can say about many databases this main information, different information. Next, blockchain ledgers are transparent, for example, between many individuals, for example. And next, blockchain ledgers are public and constructed this security instruments and methodology. Next, according this main idea, we can say about a blockchain is a distributed ledger. This growing list or records some blocks that are securely linked together via cryptographic hashes. For example, on this slide, you can see information and this example. By using information or computer science, we can say about record. Sometimes we call about structure, sometimes or compound data, and we can say, and we can use this method for describing some structure. And on this slide, you can see, and we can say about data structure known as hash table, for example. You can see keys, for example, and we can say about some example, a small phone book as a hash table, for example. We can use keys, we can use some hash function, and we can see this number. For database, we can say about records, and these records in databases or some spreadsheet we can use called rows, like this, for example. Next, for interesting information about this technology, blockchain technology, I propose to say about these scientists. For example, we know about this information. A blockchain was created by person. Sometimes we can say about a group of people using the name Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008 to serve as a public distributed ledger for Bitcoin cryptography transactions. And for example, this work, interesting work by Stuart Hubbard, Scott Stonetta, and Diver Bayer. On this slide, you can see this article, this scientist, for example, first work we can say about this work, and this information you can find this article on internet, for example. Information about this scientist, for example, Stuart Hubbard, is an American cryptographer and computer scientist, known for his contribution in cryptography and this methodology. Next, about Scott Stometa is American physics and scientist research. And we can say about this paper about how to time step and digital document. For example, we can say, I return on this slide, you can see this scientific work. And next, we can say about David Bayer, at American mathematician, known as his contribution in algebra and symbolic contribution, and by using interesting work in this area too. More interesting information about these researchers. For example, Stuart Hubbard studied in Harvard University, graduate in mathematics, and first work, for example, by cryptographic computation techniques and application in this university. Next, I would like to say about work Stometa, and this science began work as scientists, researchers in Belcorn, and in this university they start to say about this technology, and we talked about this work for this interesting methodology, and they say about this information and this scientific report on this university. And next, we can say about David Bayer, was educated in Smart Mode College. You can see this university and graduated. This scientist, maybe you know, Bayer is son of John and Bryce Bayer, the inventor of Bayer filters. And Bayer has worked in various areas of algebra and symbolic computation, included Hilbert functions, Bettian numbers, and linear programming. So we talked about this work by using this methodology and technology by using Bitcoin. We will say about that too. Next, for example, I propose to you to say about first determination of blockchain, and we can say blockchain is distributed ledger with growing list of recording blocks that are security linked together via cryptographic hashes. So I propose to say about next about distributed ledger. Next, say about blocks, about these records or blocks, and next to say about cryptographic hashes. For example, we can start by using information about distributed ledgers. We can say a distributed ledgers. Sometimes we can say about distributed ledger technology. In literature, we can say about DLT. Is the consequences as of replicated, shared and synchronized digital data that is spread and distributed across many cities, countries, and institutions. And we can say next important component, we can say about a single central point of failure, for example. And for example, for description this technology, we can say about databases. These databases can distributed ledger does not require a central administration, and consequently does not have this single central point of failure. On this slide, you can see this picture, and we can say about this single point of failure. For example, you can see this example. In this part of system, for example, by using this point, for example, we can say if it fails, we'll stop the entire system from working. For example, on this picture, you can see in this diagram, this router is the single point of failure for communication network between computers, for example, like this. Next, for next component, we can say about cryptographic hashes. On these pictures, you can see these examples. We can say about key, we can say about functions and hashes, for example. And we can say about these cryptographic hash functions. Sometimes we can say CHF is a hash algorithm. Sometimes we can use a map of binary strings to binary strings with fixed size of n bytes by using this volume for analysis that has special properties describing for cryptographic application. For example, we can say about hash function for this analysis. And by using a map, you can see this example. A map is a function, and we can use different color by using indicator X and indicator Y for analysis in some program language. Like example for cryptography, we can say about this science. We can say about study of techniques for secure communication in the presence of adverse behavior. On this example, you can see this Lawrence crypto machine, and this machine, for example, we can use by using this machine some technique of cryptography technology, and this machine used in second row for encryption communication of German High Command, for example. For detailed information, we can say about these functions. For example, we can say about cryptographic hash function. For example, we can use some input. You can see different information, these words over, for example, different information with changing some words. And next, we can use cryptographic hash function for every component, and you can see digest for every information, this input and function, and information by using digests, for example. This effect we can say about valence effect in forming. Next, we can use in cryptography security hash algorithm. On this picture, you can see this information, and we can use different words for like this, and we can use about this hash function by using information and input and produce a 160-bit 20-byte hash value known as message digest. Typically, you can use by using this function and different options for hash function. This method was designed by United States National Security Agency. We can say about this methodology, and this algorithm has been cryptography broken, but is still will widely used currently too. And next, for forming this technology, we can say about hash 3, or sometimes we can use Merkle 3. On this picture, you can see this tree, and for explanation, you can see we use each block of blockchain contains a cryptographic hash. For example, like this example, for every hash, and for example, 0 and 0 and 0, 1, you can see we can form in some blocks like L first and L second. And next we can use for forming hash number 0 and number 1. And next you can see like tree by using this component. And next, in this tree, in which every node, for example, leaf, so for example, like 3, is cryptography hash of a data block, and every block for combination by using this leaf called and branch, and node, sometimes this index node. And for forming this cryptographic hash of labels of child notice, like this, on this level, next level, second level, level number 3, and high information. Next, we can say about, since each block contains information about previous blocks, and this information, for example, we can form some chain, compare linked list data structure, and with each additional blocks linked to the ones before it. So consequently, blockchain transpiration in this chain, and we can say about forming, and very information important for forming this technology P2P computing or networking. For example, on this slide, you can see this example. For example, we can use, for example, a P2P network in which interconnected nodes, we can say about peers, share resources between each another without the use of a centralized administration system. For example, this methodology we can use for working. And for next information for analysis by using this theory, we can say, how does blockchain work? for example. And we can say, for example, for proof of working blockchain, this technology consists of three important concepts. We can say about blocks, nodes, and miners. And every chain consists of multiple blocks, and every block has consists of next basic elements. For example, the data in blocks, the nodes, for example, number used only once, and next the hash. A hash in blocks is a number permanently changed to the nonce. And for example, when the first block of a chain is created, a node generates the cryptographic hash. We talked about this cryptographic hash. The data in blocks is considered signed and forever to the nonce and hash unless is in mind. And next important component we can say about what is miner in blockchain. For example, important information about miners create new blocks or the chain through a process called mining. In blockchain, every block has its own unique nouns and hash, but also reference the hash of a previous block in the chain. So mining blocks, it's not easy process, especially on large chains. For example, like next example we can say about blockchain information and networks. So we can say about next information, making a change to any blocks earlier in the chain requires remaining to just the block this the change, but also the blocks that come after. So by using this technology, miners can form many blocks, and so this technology we can use in different types of global industry. For example, on this slide you can see in energy, in different infrastructure, and so on. Next, about we can say about cryptocurrency and blockchains versus cryptocurrency. For example, blockchains most well-known use and maybe most controversial is a cryptocurrency. For example, we can say about Bitcoin, we can say about different examples, and I propose to you to say about next information. For example, the term Bitcoin, for example, is used, for example, to refer to both blockchain and the cryptocurrency, but they remain as two separate entities. According information, I propose to say about, for example, cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency or crypto is a digital currency designed to work as a medium to exchange through computer networks that is not relied or any central authority such a government to bank to uphold and maintain it. For example, on this slide you can see a logo of Bitcoin, and we can say about information today there are more than 20,000 cryptocurrencies in the world, and that have a total market cap around $1 trillion. This Bitcoin holding a measure of a value. For example, we can say about this information, and now we can say about some important aspects for popularity of blockchains currency makers. For example, we can say about more and more using this cryptographic currency, and we can use more information for technology. Sometimes we can say about this method, and in our university we have many courses for students, and we use during our program soft for our training for many courses for specialty number 125, for example, cybersecurity. And after my report, I can say about next information. We can use many articles by using journal cryptography. Next, I propose to you to open and use information on internet. For example, this article by using information about this cryptography technology, and information, for example, from this article, Bitcoin, about technology, peer-to-peer electronic cash system, for example. Thank you. Maybe do you have questions I can say about this information? Thank you.
You see the question? Yeah.
Okay.
For first question, we have from Mr. Jonathan. I will read. Yeah, this question from Mr. Jonathan. Considering the potential threat of quantum computing to current encryption method, how is the blockchain industry preparing for the challenge, and are there any emerging cryptographic technique being explored? Thank you. Hello.
About information about about different, we can use this technology in different for example, in different areas. For example, on this slide you can see many types of global industries. For example, we can use this technology in financial, for example. We can use in sports for information, in energy for different object of different infrastructure object of our country, for example, in our world, for example, in government for forming information system, and more more information for financial, for example, for financial structure in banks, in e-commerce and other sectors of economy, for example.
Okay, thank you for answering. And the second question from Miss Kayla. How does the consequential algorithm work in blockchain, and what are the key difference between proof of work and proof of stake? Thank you.
About algorithm, okay, for example, we can use for example, we can say about, for example, on next information input, for example, like this, for example, for forming cryptographic hash function, for input, we can use, for example, words over, and you can see in these blocks, for example, red fox and over. Next, we can, for example, use different information in these words. In words over, you can see. Next on the second step, for example, we can say about forming cryptographic hash function, and on the next you can see digest after different. For forming in more interesting information, sometimes we can use this security hash algorithm, for example, like this, by using this information, and this information by using words, and we can form. And after that, for analysis, for forming information, I think about these blocks. For example, we can say about on the first step, we can say information, these blocks like this, L first and L second. But on the next step, for example, we can say about hashes 00 and 01. For example, you can see 00, 01, 10, 11. And next, we can combine, for example, like this, for example, first and second group. And we can say about function hash, for example, between these nodes, between this leaf, we can say about connection, and this connection we can say about branch between these blocks. And on the next step, we can form some hash function, about hash function like this hash function, cryptographic hash function. And on the next, for example, we can say about next component. So step by step, this block forming by information about some indicators, information by using hash function, and step by step we can form next component. On this example, you can see information input, hash function, and digest, but this information we can use for every step, for example, between first and second, between this group and next, and between this component for next component. So, and every blocks has unique information about numbers, about some hash function, and step by step we can form this blockchain, some complex chain by using these components.
Okay, thank you so much for answering.
Performing
It's very clear.
miners, they use different programs of performing this hash function, for example, by using optimization method, by using main information algebra algorithm, and for forming hash function between blocks.
Okay, thank you so much for answering. I think it's very clear answer from Professor. Okay, we will go to the second. Thank you so much for the presentation, Miss Olena. Okay, we will go to the second speaker, Miss Kateryna Tokarieva from International Scientific and Technical University from Ukraine. For Miss Kateryna, the time is yours. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am very pleased to participate in such a relevant scientific and practical event. Thank you for the invitation. I would like, Anastasia, thank you. In my report, I would like to focus on some legal aspects of virtual assets, digital currency, digital money, in Ukraine and in European Union. Let's start with the definition of virtual assets because in Ukraine currently has two completely different approaches to the regulation. Let us consider them and after that characterize virtual assets. Please, next slide. One second, please. Some
technical problems. Yeah, one moment. I will share my screen again. And I hope. Okay. Can you see it now? Okay.
No, the first. Oh, okay. It's okay. Thank you, Anastasia. And as I told, in Ukraine, we have two different approaches to regulation of virtual assets. The first is by the law of Ukraine on virtual assets. This law was adopted before merger law in Ukraine. In February 2022, but this law didn't enter into force due to the lack of the regulation of taxation of virtual assets. But in this law, virtual assets is characterized such as intangible good, which is an object of civil rights, has a value and is expressed as a set of data in the form of an electronic data, and the existence and turnover of virtual assets is ensured by a system of ensuring the turnover of virtual assets. Virtual assets may certify property rights, in particular rights of claim to other objects of civil rights. And from this definition, we can choose such characteristics of virtual assets. Intangible good, object of civil rights, have a value, digital representation, turnover, can be used to certify the property rights, priority right of claim to other objects of civil rights. Next slide, please. Thank you. And however, in current definition is stated that definition is stated in the law of Ukraine on prevention and counteraction of legalization, laundering of the proceeds of crime or terrorist financing. Virtual assets is a digital representation of value that can be traded digitally and or transferred and can be used for payment or investment purposes. As we can see, this characteristic of virtual assets is different, and the features of virtual asset that follows from the above definition is its digital representation of value, digital trading, transfer, payment, or investment purposes. As we can see from the following, the above definitions differ significantly, and therefore the essence of the same legal phenomenon is also different. We will also highlight the attributes that are not reflected in the legislative definitions, but they arise from the essence of virtual assets. Please, the next slide. As you can see in presentation, such characteristics are blockchain technology, and this technology also we can say that it is security, impossibility of third-party interference, stability, reliability of information, and so on. My colleague Olena Parshyna told about these characteristics before. Yeah. Also, we can say about decentralization of virtual assets or lack of state control. Yeah, lack of collateral, exchange rate instability, wide classifications of virtual assets in the world, and so on. But we have no the same approach that can help us to understand what is it virtual assets. Now I would like to tell some words about approaches to characterize of virtual assets in European Union. Next slide, please. And one more. Thank you. I would like to say that at the European level, there are no general rules for regulating the crypto market. The current regulation is based on a variety of different regulations, explanations, guidelines in the legislations of different European Union member states. There are some anti-money laundering regulations for services related to unregulated crypto assets, including the operation of cryptocurrency trading platforms and the exchange or storage of crypto assets. As a result, there is no common legal definition of the nature of crypto assets in European Union. This situation makes their owners sensitive to some risks, hinders market development, limits the possibilities of innovation, some digital services, alternative payment instruments, provides a platform for market manipulation, and serves as a basic for financial crimes. Next slide, please. I would like to say about MiCA. This is European document that includes some rules about regulating crypto assets. MiCA markets in crypto assets was approved in European Union in May this year, and this document fill in 3 main blocks, detailing and expanding the list of alternatives with virtual assets that are considered license classifications of tokens. It's the second block, and requirements for service provides. It's the third block. I would like to tell some words about each of these blocks. And I will make some parallel with the Ukrainian approach and approach by M.Kom. According to the Ukrainian law, there are only 5 types of services. Those related to the turnover of virtual assets, those related to the storage or administration, exchange services, transfer services, intermediary services performed in the interest of third parties. While the M.Kom regulations details and expand this list of the activities as follow, and you can see that these types of services are more wide than in Ukraine. Yeah, for example, operation of a trading platform of virtual assets, exchange of virtual assets for cash, providing consultations on virtual assets, and so on. Next slide, please. The second block of M.Kom is classification of tokens. While the Ukrainian law divides virtual assets into 2 types, secured and unsecured, the M.Kom, oh, it's a mistake in my presentation, the M.Kom has 3 categories: asset reference tokens, CBDC tokens, and utility tokens. Utility tokens provide access to applications, services, or resources. CBDC tokens, crypto assets with a stable value based on one fiat currency and will function similarly to electronic money, replacing fiat currency in payments. And we will talk about CBDC tokens when we continue our lecture about digital currency. And the third group of tokens by M.Kom is asset referenced tokens that maintain a stable value by pledging on to several currencies, crypto assets, and so on. Next slide, please. And the third block, requirements for service provides. 1 second, please. In order to provide these services, provides, in addition to obtaining the appropriate license, must be okay by such criteria. Yeah, have a registered office in the European Union, meet a high level of organizational requirements, have insurance coverage, and comply with the procedure for processing and storing personal data of their clients. In addition, crypto asset service provides will be required to comply with customer protection requirements, including liability in case of loss of investor funds, the obligation to publish a white paper, and sanctions for the use of misleading information. And by the way, the Ukrainian law provides for similar requirements in the case of public token offering. Next slide, please. In this third block, we also can say that consumers will be required to be warned about the risks of some losers, as well as to be provided with rules for marketing communications. Also, we can add that unification of European Union and national regulations will be, and addressing the shortcomings of the MiCA. I would like to tell about these points. The existence of unresolved aspects regarding to the type of legal status of NFTs, the possibility of asset tokenization, certain aspects of the operation of decentralized platforms, and inflexibility of regulations in matters of decentralization and anonymity. It is important to note that the implementation of MiCA requires the introduction of relevant amendments to the Ukrainian legislation that will regulate the turnover of virtual assets. We emphasize that this aspect in particular important in the context of Ukraine's integration into the European Union. And I would like to say that the law on Ukraine of virtual assets, about it, I said earlier, by MiCA, by rules of MiCA, it should be changed, because it is a very strange situation when the law did not enter in force, but it is needs some changes. But we will see the result after due enforce rules by MiCA, and after that we can say MiCA it is good or not so good as we think earlier. The next step, I would like to say some words about digital currency or digital money. Next slide, please. One more. Thank you. In Ukraine and in European Union, there is no the same introduction, the same as virtual assets. We can tell about digital currency. Digital currency is new phenomena, and also we don't have the same approach to characterize this category. And you can see at the slide that in different countries use different categories to characterize the same. It's also can be and cryptocurrency and virtual asset and crypto assets and digital money, digital representation of value, type of asset, and so on. Each state entire decides which concept to use and what content to fill in this concept with independently. Next slide, please. Also, I would like to start from Ukraine legislation, and I would like to say that the law of Ukraine on payment services, characterize digital currency of National Bank of Ukraine or digital currency as electronic form of the currency of Ukraine used by the National Bank of Ukraine. And we can see that categories digital currency or digital money is close to electronic currency, but in Ukrainian law we can say the different decision of this category. Electronic currency means units of value stored in electronic form issued by an electronic currency issuer for payment transactions, including using prepared multi-purpose payment cards, which are accepted as a means of payment by persons other than the issuer, and there are a monetary obligation of such an electronic currency issue. At the same time, the law distinguishes between electronic currency and digital currency, indicating that it exists only in non-cash form. Next slide, please. Ukrainian digital currency is named digital hryvnia, or also we can say hryvnia. I would like to choose some characteristics of digital hryvnia. Digital currency of Ukraine is a type of non-cash money. Digital hryvnia is an electronic form of the Ukrainian currency, is a legal tender on the territory of Ukraine. Also, it shall be used for payment transactions and settlements only in cases provided for by law. The issuer of digital currency is the National Bank of Ukraine. And also, a very important characteristic is that digital currency, digital hryvnia, shall be subject to repayment. Next slide, please. After that, I would like to present the one more law of Ukraine. It is the law on the National Bank of Ukraine, in which we can see that legislator said us the digital currency of the National Bank of Ukraine as an electronic form of the currency of Ukraine is a legal tender in the Ukraine, except by individuals and legal entities for payment, transaction and settlements only in cases provided for by the legislation of Ukraine. And also legislator says that the National Bank of Ukraine shall issue digital currency exclusively in non-cash form in accordance with the law of Ukraine on payment services. Based on the above, we can say that digital hryvnia is very similar to electronic currency, but in Ukraine they differ in terms of payment status, issue, scope, need for repayment, technological solutions, and so on. Next slide, please. If we will take about some regulation of digital currency in different countries, I would like to start from Sweden. In Sweden, very active legislator, and they also have their own digital currency, e-krona, but this currency have another another opportunities to involve in a payment system of the state. E-krona is traditional money in digital form or digital currency issued and managed by the central bank. I would like also say that in Sweden they have not only digital currency, they also recognized Bitcoin as a means of payment. And they would like to a reduction of their cash. And in Sweden we have twice modern digital payments, Bitcoin as virtual asset and e-krona as digital currency, digital money. But the most bright example for European Union to improve in payment system digital currency is digital euro. Next slide, please. And I would like to say that in 2020, the European Central Bank published a report on the need to introduce the digital euro. And in 2023, in June, the Commission presented legislative proposals on the digital euro and on the legal tender status of euro banknotes and coins. And the research phase of the digital euro project lasted about 24 months and ended in October 2023. The European Central Bank Council decided to move to the preparation and experimentation phase of the digital euro. This phase, which could last about 3 years, will lay the groundwork for a potential of digital euro. The start of this new phase does not necessarily mean that digital euro will be introduced. As you can understand, digital euro it's such experiment. Next slide, please. I said in the Commission presented its single currency package. This package consists of two complementary legislative parts, one on the legal framework for the possible introduction of the digital euro, and the other on the legal tender status of the physical cash euro, banknotes and coins. According to these regulations, the digital euro will complement cash and will be available to the public. As a central bank digital currency, it will be directly backed by European Central Bank. Next slide, please. According to the proposal, we can characterize digital euro, and we can say that it can function as a digital wallet, allowing people and businesses to pay with it at any time and anywhere in the euro area. Also, it exists alongside national and international private means of payment, such as card or some apps, to be available online and offline. will allow making payments and money transferred with a high degree of confidentiality and granting the digital euro the status of legal tender. Next slide, please. And as the European Central Bank said, digital euro has some additional benefits. And what is the additional benefits from the introduction of the digital euro? It's complement cash and deposits, support innovation and digitalization of the European Union economy, avoid the risks of unregulated payment decisions, and so on. Yeah, but we are talking about digital as electronic money. Yeah. Such in Ukraine, this regulation is different. By the digital euro, today we can't understand the difference between electronic form of the euro and digital euro. I would like to say, and it is very important to note that although virtual assets and digital money are created using the latest digital technologies, in particular, we are talking about blockchain. They are different concepts and should be regulated differently. In conclude, yeah, we should compare virtual assets and digital currency, especially digital hryvnia. And I can say that in Ukraine, digital or e-hryvnia is currently becoming the third form of money in Ukraine. The most important issue is the scope of application of digital hryvnia, as there is currently no answer in either European Union law, current Ukrainian legislation. We believe that e-hryvnia could become an alternative form e-money and cashless funds in e-commerce and cashless payments and transfer. In addition, the National Bank of Ukraine's digital currency can mediate the turnover of virtual assets, given that both operate in digital environment. But now this topic has more questions than answers, and maybe this approach is interesting for scientists and for practical scientific workers too. Thank you for your attention. If you have some questions, please.
Yeah, so we have a question from Jonathan. You can see it in the chat, or maybe you want me to read it to you.
No, thank you. I read this question. 1 minute, please. I would like to find some information in my article for today. The question is about monetary policy. How do different cryptocurrencies manage factors like inflation, deflation, and coin supply, and what impact can these policies have on stability of cryptocurrency? Very interesting question. Thank you very much. Also, I have no one one answer for it because, as we said, virtual assets or cryptocurrency, you can say both categories. It is decentralized, yeah, and not stability, and we can say that government of maybe Ukraine or other state can do such conclusion about cryptocurrency and inflation, deflation. I think now it's very hard because the state, for example, Ukraine, we can't regulate this legal process as virtual assets, yeah, and when we can regulate it, and this law will be enter in force when we have some tax mechanism. We can say maybe it will be the next topic for our webinar, but now I have no answer for this question because it's can be take from the today's regulation of virtual assets, but it is very interesting topic. For example, economic part of virtual asset and their influence, their impact, yeah, on payment system. But now Ukraine legislative can't answer for this question because we have no different mechanism. And the second questions we also have. I'm sorry, I can't open the question. What social and ethical considerations should be taken into account when implementing blockchain technology on a larger scale, especially in terms of accessibility, inclusivity, and potential job displacement? Oh, it's also very wide, interesting question. Give me please some seconds to think about it, because the question is very, very wide. I forgot to say that e-grivna or digital grivna, yeah, is a CBDC token, and it is also used by blockchain technology, yeah, and I said about some preferences of this technology. I'm sorry, but in inclusivity, it's a very interesting question how blockchain will be implementing, especially in inclusivity and potential job. It can be implemented, and we see that nowadays this technology is also wide in different spheres of our life, yeah, and I would like to say about some some not mistakes, but Настя, can you help me, please? I forgot. Опасения.
Yeah, okay. So worries about
Oh,
blockchain.
thank you so much. Yeah, each state, especially Ukraine, our government have some worries about share blockchain in different spheres because this technology, for one hand, is very good, and we can see each step of each subject of this of using this technology in different spheres, but the lack of government control is the different reason that today can stop this stop sharing this technology. But I think, especially I think that it is the future. Digital, new digital technologies, it's future for all of the world and for all spheres of our life.
Thank you. I think that's the end of the lecture. Thank you, Novita.
Thank you so much for Miss Kateryna for the wonderful presentation. And we will go to the last speaker, Mr. Migunani M.Kom, as a head of Information System Department from STEKOM University, Indonesia. For Mr. Migunani, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Novita. In my share, it's look good, Novita.
Yes, sure.
Okay, good afternoon for our audience. Greeting to all participants and also the honorable of student and all audience in here. I'm Migunani. Now I'm head of information system program study at STEKOM University. My first take this occasion to pay tribute to all of the audience of this international webinar, even with the title of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. I'm very happy I can open today's presentation in front of all you. In the next 20 or 30 minutes, I will explain about topic of prospect for using blockchain technology. Okay, blockchain. Blockchain is a distributed ledger with a growing list of records or blocks that are securely linked together via cryptographic hashes. The first blockchain is advantage in terms of data accuracy and data security. The blockchain system will check the validity of the transaction on all existing nodes, and new transaction meet the requirement validated by the authorized party, and this series of the transaction block is then connected to form of transaction chain or blockchain. Each transaction block is connected by a blockchain algorithm system and influence each other. When change the transaction value on in the block G must also change the transaction value in the block B. The transaction value in the block B is also related to the transaction value in the block A. Version of blockchain. The first one, blockchain 1.0. This blockchain used for currency, for example, is crypto Bitcoin. The implementation of DLT or distributed ledger technology leads to the first application. This is namely cryptocurrency that is enabled for financial transaction. And the next blockchain is blockchain 2.0. In this blockchain, contain a smart contract. Smart contract is that is a small computer program that lies on the blockchain technology and the blockchain system. And the next blockchain is blockchain 3.0. The blockchain 3.0 called Dept or Dept. Yeah, Dept is a decentralized application that is a back-end code that runs on a decentralized peer-to-peer network. Why a blockchain working stage? There is 5 steps for blockchain working stage. The first one is transaction requested, and number 2 is broadcast transaction. Number 3 is validated transaction, and next is add to blockchain. Some people request transaction on the blockchain and then new block has created. Transaction may involve cryptocurrencies, involve contract, node, or other information is needed. The request transaction is broadcast to P2P network to all participants with the help of nodes or computer they have. Each node on the network will validate transaction and user state with the help of a known hash algorithm. In what case, node receives a reward as a result of proof of work of system. Once the transaction is complete, a new block is then added to existing and update blockchain in such a way that is permanent and cannot be changed. There is a blockchain process. A transaction is requested and authenticated by the blockchain network. A new block is created to represent that transaction, and the next is the new block is sent to every node or participant in the block network. Node validate the new block and transaction. In most cases, node receive a reward of result of a proof of work system, like for use mining cryptocurrency. The new block is added to the blockchain is the next process after receive a reward as a result of proof of work system, and the next the blockchain update is distributed across the network and the transaction is completed. Has fingerprinting on blockchain. Blockchain on the block on the blockchain have a cryptographic or encoding hash like a fingerprint that is unique for each block. Hash is a code resulting from encryption, which generally consists for random letter and number. Hash function is the process of producing a fixed size hexadecimal output from a different size input. Once a block is created, any change within the block will cause the hash to change. All blocks contain the hash of the previous block. This technique makes the blockchain very secure. For example, block 1 has no predecessor. This block called Genesis block, and then block 2 contains the hash of block 1, while block 3 contains the hash of block 2. What is a blockchain future? For blockchain future is 1, decentralized. A blockchain is not stored in one place that has no central storage and is stored in various different computer or nodes. And second, 2 is all information in the blockchain is owned by the public. For all connected nodes or computer, this means everyone can see it. And the third one is based on consensus. This means that before new information is added to the blockchain, more than half of existing nodes must agree that the information is valid before it is added. This will protect the blockchain from fraud. And the fourth one is immutable. That is meaning that the information is added. It cannot be changed or deleted again. The information in the blockchain is protected, which means it is encrypted and almost impossible to hack. And software for building a blockchain. Software that built on blockchain is called Dept or decentralized application. The first Dept were built in the Bitcoin blockchain. This is first cryptocurrency and were peer-to-peer payment system to use for processing Bitcoin in a blockchain system. Furthermore, other blockchains such as Ethereum, Neo, EOS are designed to do more things. This is the next cryptocurrency after Bitcoin. Blockchain Neo was originally called Antares and was founded by Deng Hui and Eric Zhang from China in 2014, become Neo in 2017, and leading digital currency company until now. The Ethereum blockchain was created by Vitalik Buterin. He was born in Russia and nationality in Canada. And the Ethereum blockchain launched in 2015. What is different Ethereum has Neo? Both platforms allow users to build the apps in slightly different ways. The apps are built using the same programming language as regular software. Neo apps can build with many different programming languages, including C# and Java as popular language. Ethereum uses a language called Solidity. Solidity is familiar to language such as C++ and JavaScript. There is used integrated development environment. For example, is Remix integrated development environment. Blockchain for fungible token. This is the one blockchain technology. The Ethereum blockchain gives a blockchain programmers the freedom to build things on top of the blockchain. And tokenization provides an opportunity for software developers to construct new currency system on top an Ethereum platform. Even though the platform has different name, it is oriented toward an ERC 2.0 design. ERC is Ethereum requires for command. The ERC 2.0 standard has been adopted very widely, not only within the scope of Ethereum, but also on the smart contract blockchain platform, such as Binance Smart Coin, Solana, Near, and Polkadot. There is other cryptocurrency developing from Ethereum base. ERC 2.0 is either a coin that has money-like characteristics. ERC 2.0 token can be exchanged without losing token value. And second is blockchain for non-fungible token or FT. Blockchain for non-fungible token use ERC 271 is used for a non-fungible token. Its token in NFT represent a unique object. So each token has unique code called token ID. This token ID can represent anything, generally a digital object. It can also be a digitized physical object. For example, digital images and digital videos. FT focus more on information about the number of tokens. Meanwhile, on NFT focus more on management of the token ID, which is unique for each token. In the fungible and VS non-fungible token, what is different between fungible or comparable or non-fungible is not fungible or not comparable? Fungible is item or token that can be exchanged for other units. of the same or equivalent value. For example, 1 Bitcoin exchange for 1 Bitcoin and 1 Ethereum exchange for IDR 25 billion in rupiah. Non-fungible token, and that is item or token are not interchangeable with each other and have unique property that can make them very different, even so they may look similar. This example is avatar A cannot be exchanged with avatar B, even though they are similar. This is an example for fungible and non-fungible token or NFT. In the left side, it is fungible. It's $1 exchange with $1, 1 drum oil exchange with 1 drum oil, and 1 Bitcoin exchange with 1 Bitcoin. And non-fungible, if you like, you look, there is avatar or object or image. There is the same but different in color or different in avatar color. It is not fungible. There is a different object or there is a different token. History non-fungible token on NFT. NFT began in 2012 with the introduction of color coin built into the Bitcoin network. On Ethereum, the first NFT was CryptoPunk in 2017, followed soon after the CryptoKitties as the most successful and well-known NFT project. During the Ethereum boom in late 2017 and early 2018, CryptoKitty NFT activity also surged. When the market crashed in 2018, interest in NFT was also affected and stagnated until late 2020, when NFT experienced a resurgence. This is an example of FT and NFT. In the one is a Bitcoin with color Bitcoin, orange, white, and gray. And the second one is CryptoPunk. This is an image or object in the low image. And the third one is CryptoKitties. There is a game can play online with a avatar with different avatar in kitties object or kitties image. Non-fungible token adoption. NFT adoption is still relatively low compared to the tens of millions of people who own cryptocurrency around the world today. What is the barrier preventing of NFT adoption? And the first one is was difficult to access. And second is including new technology. And the third is high volatility of transaction fee and difficult connecting real-world assets to NFTs, the fourth one. And the next is government regulation. There is a property of the non-fungible token or NFT. NFT are a powerful type of token that allow representing non-fungible assets on the blockchain. The first one is NFT is unique. Token contain coded information within them that explain the property of each token that make it different from other. A work of digital art has a different arrangement of pixels from each other. Like for this example, it's in the image in the picture. And the second two is NFT can be tracked. Each NFT has been on a chain transaction record from the time it was created including every time it's changed hands. This means that each token can be verified for authenticity. This is very important for NFT owner and potential buyer. This is an example in the app of application, app of Spaceland. And the third is NFT are rare. To be attractive to buyer NFT must be demonstrably rare. This will ensure that the asset remain desirable in the long term and supply does not exceed demand. This is, for example, is on the OpenSea app on the web. This is grocery every day. They take the picture every day and upload to OpenSea, and they can pay in the cryptocurrency, in the rupiah until 2 million. And NFT are indivisible is for the fourth one. NFT are largely non-transactable as parts or fraction of a whole. People cannot buy tickets with just half tickets, meaning NFT token cannot be split into smaller denominations. And the final one is NFT are programmable. Just like a blockchain build asset and token, CryptoKitty and Axie Infinity have a bidding mechanism encoded in their token. There is an example for cryptocurrency on blockchain is programmable. CryptoKitty and Axie Infinity games. Why the NFT are game powerful? NFT can be powerful because they can represent any asset, whether digital or real. Some use for NFT for collectible on CryptoKitty and CryptoPunk. NFT can be used to create a new type of highly desirable digital collectible. Other collectibles such as baseball cards and stamps are also tokenized. And second two is playing game, tradable in-game item, fighting game, card game like Axie Infinity or Good Unchained. This is a game in the base of blockchain. The third one is art item. NFT allow artists to monetize their artwork and protect their copyright. NFT also allow artists to receive royalty every time their creation change hands. The launch of the wearable art on marketplace. And the fourth one is virtual assets, image assets, animation, video, and the emergence of Ethereum and crypto domain name like .eth and .crypto become NFT that can be traded. Real estate in the virtual world decentralized and crypto voxel have also been tokenized into NFT. This is an example for NFT marketplace for decentralized and crypto voxel in online web. In the next is order applied blockchain. Blockchain-based digital identity is the first one. Blockchain technology solves many problems related to digital identity. The occurrence of identity fraud or hacking of the people identities online, password and centralized database are vulnerable to attacks. Blockchain-based identification system provides digital signature certifying using cryptography. This identifier is unique, indisputable, and almost impossible to duplicate or access without authorization. The government of Estonia, Northern Europe, and the company of Sokar have built a digital identity system on the blockchain. In the future, this can be used for other digital identities, such as passport, driver license, residence permit, birth certificate, marriage certificate, and other form of identification. And the next is blockchain for election, blockchain-based digital voting. Digital voting is technology that has failed to be implemented successfully across country due to the security risks on privacy concerns. As the Estonia, Denmark, and Norway have experimented with implementing digital voting. Only Estonia has successfully implemented large-scale digital voting. Denmark used a blockchain for small-scale voting in 2014. Here, voters can check whether their vote was successfully sent while maintaining privacy and hiding their identity. This would make voting for accessible to many people and potentially increase voter participation in general election. In the next blockchain is for healthcare and medical record. If a patient has visited more than one doctor or hospital, the patient's health history or medical record will be stored in several hospitals separately. If patient medical records are stored on the blockchain, then hospital, doctor, nurses, and health professionals will have access to shared data about patients. They have complete detail of the patient medical record, saving time and helping doctor make more comprehensive decisions when treating patients. This has a potential to save lives in the case the patient requires surgery. Because of the patient health problem, blood type, allergy to certain medicine, emergency contract, so that the current medication they are taking all other details are instantly accessible when they are needed. The next is blockchain for the work education. Diploma and transcript of graduation needed of blockchain technology. In the Hubbardston School in California, plans to use a blockchain technology to authenticate their academic certificate. Forgery of academic transcript and diploma is a common practice where students claim qualification they have not obtained, and blockchain created transparency on student academic qualification, making it possible to be verified easily, eliminated fraud by saving the time and expense the changing or proving diploma qualification manually. In the next blockchain for the music industry used for the blockchain base, the music industry is changing the way music is distributed, shared, or purchased, and how sales royalty will be paid to artists. Peertrack, UIO Music, and Mysteria are startups working on a blockchain-based platform for artists to sell their music directly to fans. Spotify purchased a media sign which allows artists to create digital recording of songs on the Bitcoin blockchain and the interplanetary file system. Spotify aims to create a fairer and more transparent payment to artists for their music. In the next blockchain for cloud storage, like a storage company, has created a decentralized cloud storage that is less vulnerable to attack and hack. Cloud storage is distributed across unused storage space on network-connected computer, encrypted and accessible only to its owner. Coin and Filecoin, these company are crypto startup that also combine cloud storage and blockchain like a storage. In the next blockchain is for car rental. Car rental, the auto industry is another industry that could be transformed by blockchain technology. Visa and DocuSign have entered into a partnership to develop a blockchain-based system for car rental. This cut out a lot of paperwork and middlemen involved in car rental. Customers select the car when they went to rent. Their digital digital identity already contain financial and licensing information. They agree to an insurance policy for the rental, and the blockchain will be updated every time a new rental agreement occurs. And the next blockchain is for property company. Property, real estate, and land sales are areas that currently involve a lot of manual paperwork and intermediaries. Blockchain-based property record and transaction can dramatically increase the speed and transparency of property transactions while reducing transaction costs. Real estate blockchain-based platform can record land ownership, transfer property deeds, track zoning change and development plan. And Ubiquity is a startup currently building a blockchain-based property platform for banks, financial institutions, mortgage broker, and ordinary people to track documents related to property transactions. And the end of presentation for me. Can blockchain-based crypto money be hacked? The global crypto money or cryptocurrency platform BitMEX experienced a hack where the value of crypto assets was lost, reaching $196 million or 2.8 trillion in rupiah Indonesian. Research from blockchain analytic company Elliptic recorded fraud in the decentralized crypto finance or DeFi ecosystem, reaching in $10.5 billion or 149 trillion in rupiah. Elliptic's crypto asset crime prevention company noted that from 2020 until now, the total loss of crypto investors due to fraud in DeFi has reached 12 billion or 170 trillion in Indonesian rupiah. Another scam is Squid Game. The Squid Game cryptocurrency developer used the rug pull method. The rug pull method is abandoning the crypto project and took away the investor cryptocurrency. And the next is Gizmodo. Gizmodo, a design, technology, science, and science fiction website, reported that the perpetrator made off with crypto squid investor money worth is 3.36 billion, and then this crypto money had no price, is no $0, even though crypto money had reached its highest price in $2.861 billion per coin. Okay, thank you. This is my presentation.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
Novita.
Mr. Migunani. And we have the question from participant in the Zoom from Mr. Jonathan and Miss Retno. Sure. I will read it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, maybe I can have to answer for question from Kayla and Jonathan in the first question in the
Oh,
Zoom. Okay,
yeah. For
from
your
Kayla.
question in yang paling
No,
bawah,
no,
Pak.
for okay, no, for the
Yeah.
first. Okay, for the first.
Okay.
How does the consensus algorithm work in a blockchain, and what are the key difference between proof of work and proof of stake? This answer from Kayla. Okay. The proof of work consensus algorithm use a complex problem for miners to solve using high-power computer. The problem are solved using trial and error. The first miner to complete the puzzle or cryptographic equation get the authority to add new blocks to the blockchain for transaction. When the block is authenticated by a miner, the digital currency is then added to the blockchain. The miner also receives compensation with coin. A proof of work system requires for a fast computer that use a large amount of energy resource. As the cryptocurrency network grows, the transaction time can slow down. Time, it requires so much energy and power. And what is a proof of stake? In proof of stake miner, pledge an investment in digital currency before validating transaction with a proof of stake. The validated block miner need to put up stake with coin of their own. Miner also show how long they have been validating transaction. The choice for who validated each transaction is random using a weighted algorithm, which is weighted based on the amount of stakes and the validation experiences. After a miner verifies a block, it is added to the chain, and the miner receives cryptocurrency for their fee along with their original stage. If the miner does not vary the block correctly, the miner's stakes or coin can be lost. By making miner put up stakes, they are less likely to steal coin or commit other fraud, providing another layer of security. The proof of stake system was designed to be an alternative to proof of work, addressing energy usage, environmental impact, and scalability. What is a key difference between proof of work and proof of stake? Under proof of stake or POS, validators are chosen based on the number of stake coin they have, and proof of stake was created as an alternative to proof of work or POV, the original consensus mechanism used to validate transactions and open new blocks. Well, POV mechanism require miners to solve cryptographic puzzles. POS mechanism require a validator to hold and stake token for the privilege of earning transaction fees. Proof of stake or POS is seen as less risky regarding the potential for an attack on the network. It is a structured compensation in a way that makes an attack less advantageous. The next block, writer on the blockchain, is selected at random, with higher odds being assigned to nodes with larger staging position. An answer from Jonathan, considering the potential threat of quantum computing to current encryption method, how is the blockchain industry preparing for this challenge? And are there any emerging cryptographic techniques being explored? Quantum blockchain can be understood as a decentralized or encrypted and distributed database on quantum computation and quantum information theory. Once the data is recorded in the quantum blockchain, it will not be maliciously tampered with. Quantum computers pose a significant threat to cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. In responses, some developers are already working to future-proof their blockchain protocol by exploring ways to transition the cryptocurrency currently securing the protocol to quantum-resistant cryptography. From Daniel Davis and Alexander Kim, they explain this potential accelerated timeline could have far-reaching consequences, including for many cryptocurrency and their underlying blockchain protocol. As the cryptography function and encryption standard, they really could soon be vulnerable to quantum attacks. For example, cryptocurrency miner using quantum computer may be able to mine cryptocurrency much faster than other miners. This called threaten to decentralization of many mining-based blockchain protocols. Quantum computer could also decrypt the private key from a public key, enabling bad actors to control and ultimately steal other cryptocurrencies. Investor, user, and regulator must carefully consider the potential risk quantum computer pose to the cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology more generally. And the next question is from Jonathan. In the term of monetary policy, how do different cryptocurrency manage factors like inflation, deflation, and coin supply, and what impact can this policy have on the stability of cryptocurrency? To fully comprehend the nature of inflationary and deflationary cryptocurrency, we must first anchor ourselves in the foundational principles of economy that govern inflation and deflation. This twin force, akin to economic gravity, play a crucial role in determining the purchasing power of currency in the mining. Inflation, often seen as force fueling down the purchasing power, is characterized by the rising tide of general price level in economy. On the flip side, deflation, acting as a countervailing force, leads to a drop in the general price level, enhancing the purchasing power of the currency. These forces are not merely academic constructs, they are shaped and driven by various factors within an economy. Inflation is typically caused by excessive growth in the money supply, significant increases in production costs, and robust consumer demand. On the contrary, deflation may result from a contraction in the money supply, a decline in demand, or technological advancement, leading to reduced production costs. And from Lona question, Retno was questioned what social and ethical considerations should be taken into account when implementing blockchain technology on a larger scale, especially in terms of accessibility, inclusivity, and potential job displacement. Blockchain technology has emerged as a revolutionary force, disrupting traditional industries and transforming various aspects of society. The one is enhancing transparency and trust. One of the most significant advantages of blockchain technology lies in its ability to enhance transparency and trust in various domains. By enabling decentralized and immutable record keeping, blockchain eliminates the need for an intermediary and central authority. This has a potential to revolutionize industries such as finance, supply chain management, and healthcare. This is very different in system of bank. However, this increased transparency also raises concern about privacy, as blockchain records are visible to all participants. Preserving confidentiality become a challenge. Striking the right balance between transparency and privacy is crucial to ensure that ethical use of blockchain technology. And the second one is addressing economic inequality. Blockchain technology has a potential to address economic inequality by empowering individuals who are excluded from traditional financial systems. Through decentralized cryptocurrency, blockchain enables borderless transactions, financial inclusion, and access to banking service for unbanked population. Nevertheless, challenges arise in ensuring equitable access to blockchain-based systems. Technological barriers such as lack of internet connectivity and digital literacy can exacerbate existing inequality. Ethical consideration must be taken into account to ensure that blockchain technology is accessible to all, regardless of socioeconomic status. And the third one is empowering data and ownership and privacy of data and ownership. Blockchain has potential to empower individuals with control over their data by enabling secure and variable data ownership through a decentralized identity system and self-sovereign identity. Individuals can manage and share their personal information on need-to-know basis. Nevertheless, privacy concerns emerge when considering the immutability of blockchain records. Once the data recorded on the blockchain, it becomes nearly impossible to erase or modify, striking a balance between data transparency and the right to be forgotten is a significant ethical challenge to need to be addressed in the implementation of a blockchain-based system. Okay, thank you, Novita. This is answer for question 1 and question 2.
Okay, thank you for Mr. Migunani. I think we don't have no more question again from participant. Okay, before I close this event, I will go to the next session for time take a picture. Okay, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, smile. Thank you. Thank you for your keen cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of webinar today. We would like to say to our speaker for the wonderful information and thank you for sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial or for all participants. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future. The webinar for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you so much for Mr. Migunani and Miss Olena, Miss Kateryna. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.